Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Al, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. I am your TOEFL speaking mentor. So you created an integrated speaking practice test, and I'm actually going to listen to your response and grade it right now. And now let me go ahead and click on the rubrics here. So integrated speaking, because this is important. So when I'm listening to your response, I want to make sure I have the rubrics so I can accurately grade what you are saying. Okay, here we go.
The reading and the listening passage explain the influence of internet on general public, either positively or negatively. First of all, the reading passage says that internet does have a negative impact on public. For example, there was a case of 13-year-old girl who was being raped and molested by a person when these guys met in a pornographic website chat room. The listening adds to this point, but says that internet does have a positive impact as well. Especially, it can help people grow economically as well as educationally. For example, a small Japanese bicycle company was able to expand its business internationally through the use of e-commerce website, and they were able to make profit. Secondly, a small music class can go to the internet and can listen to a recording of a famous artist. This way, a class can reinforce the ideas that they learned in the lecture and thereby increasing their knowledge. Therefore, internet does influence people positively as well.
Okay, so I listened to your whole response without interruption. I wanted to get the whole piece of what you just said, right? So now let's listen to it in parts, and I'll make comments at the appropriate times.
The reading and the listening passage explain the influence of internet on general public, either positively or negatively.
Okay, there. It's a little bit awkward how you stuck the either positively or negatively at the end. I would probably just say the reading and the listening passage discuss the positive and negative effects of the internet. That's going to be a little more natural way to put that idea. So that's my first suggestion. But your topic statement is good in the sense that you're including the main point from the reading and the listening passage. So that's a very clear organization.
First of all, the reading passage says that...
Okay, I like how you use first of all to introduce your first main point in the reading passage. Again, there's a very clear connection of ideas.
Internet does have a negative impact on public.
Now let's go back. Now here's one thing I'd like you to work on. You can go to the grammar part of my course. This has to do with articles. These words are very troublesome for non-native speakers. A, and the. So when you have a singular noun or you use a word like internet, I would say the internet, not just internet. So I understand that these are very complicated words, and there's a very complex network of rules governing the usage of these three words, but you should work on improving your mastery of a, and the a little more than you are. Especially with singular and plural count nouns.
For example, there was a case of 13-year-old girl who was being raped and molested.
This is some word stress issues here. You got 30 and 13. So with the numbers of teen, the stress is on the second syllable. With numbers of 10, for example, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, you have stress on the first syllable. So to help you with that, I'd like you to review word stress in the pronunciation part of my course. I think it's around lessons 26 through 30. I can't remember exactly, but you know where my pronunciation is, so you can find that one. So again, word stress issues. Be careful about numbers of teen and numbers of 10.
Said by a person when these guys...
Okay, with person, P. This is a bilabial consonant. What does that mean? It means when you're forming it with your lips, you have a lot of air that pushes out there. The reason you do that is to differentiate that from the B consonant sound. So you're not putting enough air with that P. Person. Person.
When in a pornographic website chat room. The listening adds to this point, but says that internet does have a positive impact as well. Especially...
I would say there, the listening adds, if you just say, well, however, or on the other hand, the listening claims there are positive effects of the internet. You see what I'm saying? So probably, however, or on the other hand, or conversely, or in contrast, that would be a good transition word at this key juncture of your response to show that the connection, or that the ideas from the listening are opposite or in direct contrast with the ideas in the reading passage.
It can help people grow economically as well as educationally.
That's a good leading point. You've now stated economically and educationally. Those are the 2 points in the listening passage. The way that you structured that part of your response is very good. It's very easy now for the reader or the listener now to understand what you're going to say, and it hits on the 2 most important points of the lecture. So by saying that, you're demonstrating a very sound understanding, I think, of the information in the lecture.
For example, a small Japanese bicycle company was able to expand its business internationally through the use of e-commerce website.
Yes, I like your use of the word "for example." So you introduce a smaller point. Now, the one thing that you didn't do, though, that you started with "first of all," right? I remember that in the beginning. You started with the word "first of all," then you discussed the main point in the reading passage. So if you want to be parallel there, when you mention the lecture, you'll say "second of all." But it's probably better not even to use that "first of all" and "second of all," because the lecture is opposite. It's different from the ideas in the reading passage.
And they were able to make profit. Secondly, a small music class can go to the internet and can listen to a recording of a famous artist. This way, the class can reinforce the ideas that they learned in the lecture, and thereby infusing their knowledge. Thereby
infusing their knowledge. So that's actually pretty good. I like that thereby cause-effect type relationship there. You're saying infusing, using what's called the present participle there. That's pretty advanced grammar that you know how to do that, and you're combining that with your main idea. So that particular sentence and that part of the sentence, thereby infusing their knowledge, that's demonstrating some very sound language use abilities on your part.
And it does influence people positively as well.
Okay, now the question is, what is your score? So let's take a look at the rubrics here. So I actually pointed out, as I went through your response, I pointed out the different strengths and weaknesses, I think, of your response in terms of delivery, language use, and topic development. And one good thing, even though you had some problems with word stress, you're actually doing a pretty good job with intonation, right? So with language use, I pointed out some small problems with the articles a, and the. So you have to be careful about that. I gave you a minor suggestion with topic development. I was talking about how you might use the word however to connect ideas together. Okay, your score here, I think it's a strong score. I think you'll get at least 3.0 out of 4 on this. Would you get a perfect score of 4? I'm going to put you right around 24 to 26 points here. If you didn't reach a perfect score here, it might be because of some minor problems that I pointed out in this response. All right? Now, L1234, you also are asking a few questions here. So.
Hello, Michael. I hope this message would find you well, and I hope you are enjoying your long weekend with your family.
Yes, I am, and guess what? I'm in Orange County, down by the beach, and we are getting ready to go to Disneyland in about an hour. Aren't we, Kay?
Have fun. First of all, I must say that the practice session in your website is really helping me.
All right.
I'm getting more concentration on how to speak clearly and fluently.
Yes, and you're making some good changes with your tone, I think, so you're making progress.
I have a couple of questions here, and I wanted to ask you since I believe that you can help me with it.
Okay.
First of all, the difference between the actual TOEFL exam and your practice session is the way of difficulty. Your practice session is really difficult. Secondly, I believe...
Okay, let's go to this. It depends on what you're looking at, but I think a lot of the integrated practice tests that you're doing in some sense can be a little more difficult than the actual TOEFL exam. That's what a lot of students have told me. So that would be my comment on that.
integrated speaking task number 4 is different in TOEFL than in a practice session.
Yeah, with that one, I think with the TOEFL, you'll have a personal experience question at the end where the two students are discussing some possible solution to the problem. Then you have to discuss what they're saying and then which of the two you think is better and why. So it is a little bit different.
I believe that you must agree with this, because in the actual TOEFL exam, the reading passage usually provides a definition, and listening passage usually involves a couple of examples to illustrate the definition.
Yeah, that's right.
But this is not the case with the practice in your website, because it's just a general idea, and the reading and the listening either supports or refutes the main idea. For example, this response of use of internet, the reading gives negative aspect and the listening provides a positive influence on general public. There is no definition in the reading passage, it just gives the fact, and I guess this is not the case going to happen in TOEFL, because TOEFL provides the definition of internet in reading passage, for example, and then the listening passage provides a couple of examples to define the term internet. I'm actually struggling here how I can use this strategy to effectively manage my time as well as get a higher score in actual TOEFL exam. I wanted to hear from you. Please respond to this message as soon as you hear this.
Yes.
That would really help me.
All right.
Thank you so much, and enjoy your weekend again.
All right. The main thing with the TOEFL,
The reading and the listening.
the main thing is it doesn't really matter what the question is, as long as you can answer the question that you're being asked. So your job is, once you hear the speaking task, is to identify what the specific parts of the speaking task are. Is there one part, two parts, three parts? You want to make sure you answer all the different parts of it. Now, my understanding is if you want to see an exact format of the TOEFL, I've contracted out with a website. They're called Score Nexus, and they actually have TOEFL speaking practice tests that they mirror exactly the format of the TOEFL. So if you want one like that to see exactly what it is, you can take one of those. Again, that's if you go to the 8th section of my course, you can get a little more practice with that. Alright, so the main thing is what I'm doing at my website is I'm giving you some feedback based in 3 areas. I'm giving you feedback based on your delivery, your language use, and also the organization and development of your responses to make sure that everything is pretty organized. And in the practice test that you just did, you're okay in the topic development area. The only suggestion I had was maybe put the word however, or on the other hand, in between the reading and the listening passages. You see what I'm saying? So that would be some of my advice to your specific question.